What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Broken Tables podcast. I am your host, Jeffrey Vegas, and I'm here with my co-host, Rome. How you doing tonight, man?
Man, what a crazy week.
What an excellent week. Excellent week. This is episode number 29, and this is the AEW Dynamite and Rampage review show for the week because we were there. So we had to prepare ourselves a little bit, watch them back on TV so we could see exactly, what happened and what we missed and what the announcers were saying and stuff like that. Welcome to everybody listening on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. Thank you to everybody watching live on YouTube as well. And holy shit, man, what an awesome episode of Dynamite to come to us here in Philly, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Tony Khan always brings the A game when it comes to Philadelphia. He's made it clear that he loves coming here, and we love having him.
Yeah, I mean, we saw him. I think we saw him 3 times the entire night, right?
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, he came out before Dark, and then he came out before Dynamite, and then
No, it was before Dynamite, after Dynamite, and then at the end of the show he came out, but he didn't really say anything at the end.
Yeah, that's right. But still, that was awesome to get to see him multiple times like that. Like, I didn't think we'd see him more than once.
Yeah, he's done that when he was here in Philly the last time when we were there. He did it. He came out like 3 times.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. If you guys haven't seen, I did do some filming from inside the stadium there. If you want to see what it looks like from some of the best seats in the Liacouras Center, go ahead and take a look at the video that I posted from inside the building there. It's really, really fun to be there at Dynamite for that opener. Super loud. Fireworks were awesome. All right, so let's get into it here. Our first match was, as some of you might have seen, the match that kind of made me tear up a bit on stream here on the podcast a few weeks ago, or about a week ago, I guess. Dax Harwood versus Cash Wheeler. And the way that they came out together from each tunnel to their music was one of the coolest parts of this to me. I didn't even think about, doing that at all. I'm not sure if Owen and Bret did that or not, but I really, really enjoyed the way they came out together, one from each tunnel.
Yeah, I thought it was a really cool entrance. Not doing the thing that I've seen in the past where like the 2 guys come out separately to the same music.
Yeah.
Like it's always seemed a little played out and a little silly. But this was perfect because they both came out, and it wasn't that either of them was working as a heel necessarily, but they came from 2 different ends, and they came to the ring together because they're still FTR.
Yep.
And had an absolute banger of a match.
CM Punk on commentary for this was really good once I got to rewatch this back.
Yeah, so some unfortunate transparency. I've had such a crazy week between this, the NFL draft, me finishing up the other job this week. So I didn't get to watch Dynamite on TV or Rampage.
No worries, no worries.
But, obviously I was there, so I know everything that actually happened. I just didn't get any of the commentary, unfortunately.
Oh, there was some good stuff if you have a chance to go back and watch.
Yeah, I've been meaning to. I'm hoping maybe to do it tomorrow, but I mean, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought this was an excellent match. I definitely loved, and it was something I kind of realized, kind of reflecting back on the match. But there was a lot of Bret Hart, Owen Hart references in the match in terms of spots. A lot of stuff that they did paid homage to them.
One of my favorite spots came right away at the beginning when Cash had Dax down on his back, and he kind of used his foot to scrape across his forehead. And, Bret kind of pointed up at Owen like, "Don't you do that, you asshole." And Dax did the exact same thing. It was great.
Yeah, I thought there was also a great spot in the match where Dax he kind of hits Cash or something like that, and I think he pokes him in the eye or something like that. Something like not super clean. And Dax is like, "Check on him, ref." And Cash was pissed.
Yeah, they called it an inadvertent thumb to the eye.
Right. He's like, "Check on him, ref," and Cash did not like that.
Oh, he was pissed. He pushed him, and then he took the chance to kick him in the gut when he was seeing if he was all right. It was good. Great storytelling in the match.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a huge fan of that.
It was just beautiful beginning to end.
Yeah, it was great. I loved this match. I loved, the opening. Everything about this was awesome. This was a fantastic opening match to the night, where the Philly crowd was hot, and we really brought it. Um, Dax ends up getting the win and the pinfall with the roll up, so he makes the tournament. So that's exciting. We're getting a little bit closer to the start of this tournament. I believe it starts next week or the week after.
Yeah, I think I saw something that said it starts next week, but I'm not positive on that one.
Yeah, I gotta check because I think there's another qualifier that they still need to do. Yeah, because there's a qualifier next week with Jeff Hardy and someone else. I think it's Bobby Fish. I'm not 100% sure. It's Jeff Hardy and somebody.
Yeah. One piece of commentary I wanted to mention was when Dax went up for a diving headbutt and Cash dodged it, CM Punk was like, "Oh, no water in the pool." He like belly flopped straight onto the ground. um,
Speaking of CM Punk, I don't know if I just want to start off by saying that man, that entrance from him before this match when he joined the commentary. Let's fucking go.
oh yeah,
like, like I don't know if you have anything else you want to talk about the Dax match, but we can get into the CM Punk promo afterwards. But I wanted to really kind of talk about that entrance, man, because that crowd, is I was vibing with the crowd because, man, I was ready to like lose my fucking voice cheering for CM Punk. He wasn't even wrestling.
yeah. Let me just do the finish here real quick. So Ash basically looked like he had hurt his knee, so Dax grabbed him into what looked like he was about to put the figure 4 on him. And the crowd realized he had just hurt his knee, and that was kind of a dick move if you guys are tag team partners. So the crowd booed Dax just a tad when he was about to put on the sharpshooter. So Cash rolled him up, and Dax actually reversed that roll up and got the 1-2-3. Now, that's another spot from Bret Hart versus Owen, but that spot there actually wound up being a kick out, and they continued to wrestle after that. So, I really liked how they used a spot to do the finisher that wasn't actually the finisher in their spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because then it ended up with Crash going for the cradle and then Dax kind of flipping it over for the small package.
Exactly. Yep. And that was the same, it was a spot from that Owen and Bret match, but that wasn't the finisher. That he kicked out of that, but in this they didn't kick out. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so you go right ahead with the CM Punk promo here.
Yeah, so this was unfortunately a heavily rewritten show because Hangman having COVID,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate.
Get well, cowboy.
We'll probably get whatever that we were gonna get at Wednesday. We'll probably get this upcoming Wednesday. But Punk grabbed the mic after the match. Walk into the ring and asking himself, can he still do this? And he's saying that confidently he can do this. He can still go, and we've seen it. Leading up from the first dance to now, where he's been kind of, they were doing the CM Punk like reunion tour kind of thing, where he's just coming out every week, entrances, talking, having quick little matches here and there, and then we kind of move on to the MJF feud, which was kind of his first kind of full-time feud where he, that went on for a few months and that was a lot of fun. Probably the feud of the year when all is said and done.
Yeah,
and now we get
really
to this
good.
point where, he's been put on these 5-star matches every week and working his way up the ladder. And, instead of kind of waiting on it, they decide to now announce the main event for Double or Nothing, which is Adam Page defending his world title against CM Punk. And CM Punk has to win this. Like, he just has to, especially after this promo. He's talking about, can I still do this? I can, win, lose, or draw. I can't guarantee a win, but I'm going to guarantee you I'm going to give it my all.
Yeah, there was a couple of sentences or lines that he put into that promo that I don't know who's going to win this match. I don't know who they want to win the match. I think Hangman's reign has been just fine. A lot of people say it's been like kind of lackluster, but I thought it's been great. But it was when Punk said, I don't know if I'll win this one, but if I don't, blah, 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 blah. That was kind of like where I was like, oh, great. Now I have no clue who's going to win this. Cause that was just a perfect line for him to throw in there to put those seeds of doubt, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think the Hangman's title reign has been excellent, and we've talked about it on the show.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe it's the heart talking. It probably is.
Yeah.
But he's got to win it. He's got to fucking win it. We got to be sitting here at the end of Memorial Day weekend with CM Punk as the world champion. Like,
Yeah.
the guy, the number one, the guy deserves it. Like, he came back to wrestling after 7 years of doing, yeah, he's doing MMA and he's staying in shape, but he comes back. He's, after the first match or two, barely looks like he's skipped, lost a step. Like, the guy is just killing. He's having 5-star matches with different guys, different styles of guy, and on the mic still easily the GOAT. And it's just, I don't know, man. I just think that I think about all the title matches that CM Punk could have and defend his title. He could defend his title against Kenny Omega when Kenny comes back. He could defend it against Bryan Danielson. He could
Danielson.
defend it Moxley. Like, Jesus Christ, like, just like, I could, like, let me fantasy book a CM Punk title reign, and I could give you a good like 10 months of him as champion, and I would love it. It would be excellent.
Yeah. And I swear, you want to boost ratings for AEW? Put the belt on Punk. I guarantee you, people who haven't watched wrestling in years are going to be like, wait, what? And people are going to be telling their friends, like, hey, I know you don't watch, but dude, Punk just became champion. Like, you got to see this. You know what I mean? It's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I think that there's definitely a healthy balance there and an argument to be made for it. Where, while yes, we're still, the hardcore audience is still made happy with AEW and the product,
Yeah.
but the idea is also to grow as well. And it's the same reasoning of why Chris Jericho was the first world champion and Moxley was the second world champion. Um, it's to get eyes on the product, and I agree with you. I think CM Punk winning the title, it's a win-win because the hardcore fan base is behind CM Punk. Um, he is the face of kind of what led to the creation of AEW. Just, he was that guy that first, made it clear, like, hey, you can not be okay with the main product. We can have an alternative. We can do this. And even though he wasn't there day one, his spirit there kind of kick-started the company. So it's like, I just think he has a right to win that title in his time. And if I were them, I would do it sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's had a good few months here without the title, and you can give him the title. I don't know how long he's going to be around for. I know it's going to be a few years, so we might only be, like, let's say he signs a 3-year contract. The first 6, 7 months, 8 months he spent, without it, and give him a run, and then we can finish up his career, putting over young guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, and he could even put over Cowboy in this match and still win. If he, I don't want to say he's going to turn heel or anything, but if he were to turn heel in the match, low blow or something crazy like that, like maybe use the belt behind the ref's back. That's not such a super heel move, but it'd still protect Hangman, and he could still help put him over by having a really good match where Hangman kicks the shit out of him most of the time, you know?
See, I don't see Punk going heel in this match,
No,
win
I
or
don't
lose.
either. I'm just saying, like, he could even win and still put him over. As I'm just kind of like putting that out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I absolutely think Punk can win this clean and still put Hangman over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so they did announce that it is at Double or Nothing confirmed, Punk versus Hangman. So I'm already ordering this pay per view here. So
We'll probably have you over again.
yeah, there's a small chance I might do the movie theater thing again. I will let you know, but that was a really, really cool experience. So we'll see. But if we're gonna do the pod from your house, we'll definitely do it that way.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Yeah, I mean, pencil in the prediction. I don't care if I win my title. I don't care if I
Yeah.
lose my title. I'm picking CM Punk to win this match. We're gonna be leading up to that episode where we do the predictions and I put my title on the line. All the other matches are gonna be in flux, but this is one that I have locked in right now. I've had it locked in since August of last year. Um, he's winning it. He's got to win it. We got to do it.
Nice. I'm with you on that one. So All right, next up was the Blackpool Combat Club. Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, and Wheeler Yuta versus QT Marshall, Aaron Solo, and Nick Camarado, with
Uh,
Anthony Ogogo at ringside. This was great, man. I love seeing the Blackpool Combat Club. Just the way that when all three of them get into the ring and they're all doing something that they would be doing in a singles match. You know what I mean? It's just that's one of the coolest spots in wrestling right now.
Definitely. I don't want to step on it, but before that, there was a Scorpio Sky and Dan Lambert segment.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like I'm just going off of these this results thing here, so it's not giving me any of those promos and stuff.
Gotcha. You got to check out Meltzer. His stuff is really good. Scorpio Sky and Dan Lambert, they had a little kind of promo backstage leading up to the main event. Sky basically talks about how he was screwed out of the TNT Championship, but he's not going to complain. He said Sammy's given AEW crowd, some of their greatest ladder matches, but Sky is here to kick his ass and win the title, and that's what the Philly crowd is there to see. And
Oh
boy,
yeah.
was he right. But anyway, back to the trios match.
No worries. We had William Regal on commentary for this match, and like I said, if you have a chance to go back, William Regal's just golden on commentary every time. It's great.
He really is.
I love this match. I wanted to see Danielson and Wheeler Yuta and Jon Moxley in person for a long time, so this was really awesome for me.
Yeah, definitely same. I really love this. It was awesome to see the hometown return of Wheeler Yuta. And so I was thinking about this the other day, and I think there was some long-term storytelling here because so last time they came to Philly back in October of last year, Wheeler Yuta wrestled on Dark and he
Okay.
lost.
Oh,
He lost in his hometown, which usually Tony Khan gives the hometown folks the rub. Like even Penelope Ford and Nick Camarado were on that Dark and they won their matches.
yeah.
And they're both from Philly. So, I'm just thinking back on it. I was like, could that have been like some really long-term storytelling there where it's like, because again, the hometown crowd usually gets their guy to win the match. Even if it's like a smaller or a lesser ranked wrestler, it's usually then it's a match on like Elevation. Like they give you something. And Yuta lost his match, and then here he is returning to Dynamite 6 months later to Philly, and just completely different. Not only is he not on Dark, he's on Dynamite. In a marquee match, winning. Teaming with Mox and Danielson, and
It's
beating the
wild.
Factory. And I think I got to look it up now because now I'm really thinking about it, looking at it. But I think he lost to Nick Camarado.
Probably, yeah. I mean, that would make a lot of sense.
I think he did. Don't quote me on that, but I think he did. Um, but yeah, no, this was a super fun match to see live, and the crowd was awesome. Yuta's a star, and especially in his hometown. Uh, this was a special match to see.
Oh, the crowd was so loud for Yuta when his music hit, man, and he started coming out, and then when he got a hot tag, I love when home crowds are just that into their guys. It's really, really cool to see
Oh yeah, absolutely.
and hear. um, so let's see here. Yuta smashed Nick Camarado with the elbow strikes and secured that seatbelt pin while Danielson was doing the label lock or some sort of triangle or something? I'm not sure, but
I believe it was the label lock.
yeah, basically him and Moxley had their submissions put in, and then Yuta got that seatbelt roll up pin. It just the ref counted it 1, 2, 3 with all of them in the ring. I just love the way they do that, man. It's great.
Yep.
All right, did you catch a promo or anything after this?
Yes. So there is a Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, Tony Storm promo. 3 of the Owen Hart Cup qualified wrestlers are backstage. Baker and Hayter are kind of insulting Tony Storm, as they have been doing in the last few weeks. Ruby Soho interrupts, saying enough was enough. She and Hayter wanted to fight, and Baker stopped them, and she and Hayter left. Most likely leading to a tag team match coming at some point soon, with Ruby Soho and Tony Storm teaming up against Britt and Jamie Hayter.
Can't wait.
I thought this was a really cool segment.
So, by the way, we got to me and my wife got to meet Britt Baker and Adam Cole, and she was one of the nicest people I have ever met. Um, right here over my shoulder is her action figure, and I just happened to have it with me, and she wasn't supposed to sign it, but I kind of set it on the table where she was signing my 8x10, and she just grabbed it and signed it. She got in trouble with the lady behind her and everything. She's like, I didn't know. So that was really awesome. Thank you very much, Brit. Uh, yeah, I can't wait for this match, man. I love all four of these girls.
Yeah, these are all awesome wrestlers, and can't wait for the Owen to get started. It's going to be a really cool tournament.
And dude, if I was gonna make a list of my favorite four in AEW, or top five, the only missing is Thunder Rosa. You know what I mean? That's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
definitely.
Yeah, that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah. So continue on. We had another promo. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage are backstage.
Oof.
Jungle Boy kind of talking about the loss to Kyle O'Reilly the previous week in the Owen qualifier. He said it stung extra bad. He didn't want to sound like a sore loser. Christian comes in saying, you don't just sound like a sore loser, you sound
You
like a
sound like a
loser.
loser.
And the Philly crowd popped for that. They were like, oh shit. Um, so he challenges any top 5 ranked tag team to step up. And who answers the challenge but Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs?
Yes, sir. Now, gotta say, when he said you sound like a loser, Jungle Boy was holding the belt by the strap, basically down at his waist, and he said, "Pick that belt up and put it on your shoulder, because like a winner, because you are a winner." You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that was really good.
Yeah, some tough love from Christian Cage in this segment. I thought this was a really cool segment that kind of further teases a breakup coming up.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to make it so blatant right away, like, because this was the first hint we've had at a turn, and it was just like, whoa, where did that come from? But I'm okay with it. I really like the way that Christian did it. He was doing it almost like a teacher. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was almost like your high school football coach or something. Kind of, you sound like a loser. You're not a loser. Something like that. So it was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Yeah. Some tough love.
Yeah. All right, and then next
Uh,
next up was the Murder Hawk monster Lance Archer with Jake the Snake versus Wardlow. And this was a really, really awesome entrance for Wardlow again, with no music, coming out to silence with 30 security guards around him and in handcuffs.
yeah, it's a really cool entrance live. It is a really, really cool entrance.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought I filmed it, but I actually I didn't wind up filming it, but got some other good footage of it that we'll post here later on as well. Do you
Very
mind
cool.
taking over what happened in the match real quick? I gotta let this dog out.
Sure, absolutely. So the match started with Archer attacking and kind of doing a like running cannonball off the apron onto Wardlow and all of his security guards, and that was pretty crazy to start the match.
Yeah.
Um, he followed up with a spinebuster. Wardlow wanted the Powerbomb Symphony. Archer spun him out and went for the EBD Claw. This match was just kind of back and forth, two huge guys going at it.
Dude,
Um,
that Hurricane Rana by Wardlow was insane. It was like textbook perfect.
yeah. I
It's
also
really
thought
good
it
to
was
see two big guys be able to move like that.
yeah, these are two like really athletic guys, and you see their size, and you expect them to be kind of move like guys you would see in the Fed, but it's just not the case. These guys are just super athletic,
Yeah.
and not simply in a I can run fast kind of fashion. It's like Lance Archer will do a moonsault. He does
Yeah.
not give a fuck.
Right.
And kind of foreshadowing to the end of the match, but if I recall, Wardlow busts out a fucking senton, doesn't he?
He did basically a swanton bomb. He dove straight up in the
Yeah.
air, and then he pulled off the flip at the last second, made it look like old school Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, he was a gorgeous.
And he was up there too. And I was like, how have we never seen that yet? But they kind of said he's been saving it.
Yeah, well, it was definitely the perfect time to do it.
Oh yeah.
And that ends with the Powerbomb Symphony, which is also
Horrible.
super impressive. And I told you, it was either you or Forrest. Like someone told me that like there's no way Wardlow is going to be able to lift Archer and do the Symphony. And I was like, nah, he's going to do it.
He did 4 of them.
Yeah, it was also really cool that MJF and Sean Spears were seated behind us.
Oh, they were right behind us, man. That was so cool.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Seats were really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a really good match. Followed up, we had the Jericho Appreciation Society sit down with Eddie Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. So this was a sit down in a sense that no one was allowed to hit each other or fight each other under repercussions of termination. Um, so we had kind of like it was awesome because it was like a table set up like with chairs on both sides. You think they're going to actually sit down and sit at this table? Jericho Appreciation Society come out and they kind of sit down, and Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz come out and they just flip the fucking tables and
Just
they
throw
throw
the
the chairs
chairs.
out there. It's like we're not sitting down. We're going to talk and we're going to beat the shit out of you.
You know,
Um,
I gotta
and I
say,
gotta
when
say,
I saw
oh
the
sorry,
table, sorry, I gotta say, when I saw the table get set up, I got super excited because I thought we were gonna have the broken table of the week. And then when they just threw the table out of the way, my level of disappointment was enormous.
yeah, there was no table this week. It's because we were there. So the Broken Tables podcast was there. So there was already a broken table in the building.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the E actually has won the broken table of the week this week. Xavier Woods got put through a table, and it was freaking brutal.
Mm. So what an intense promo from Eddie Kingston. I love this promo, and
Yeah.
like the intensity on it was up to 11. I love this promo. I thought it was fantastic, and it was the first time seeing Eddie Kingston live because he wasn't at Dynamite the last two times we were at Dynamite, and man, what a promo. Like he's just scathing. Like it's
Yeah.
just like you could feel it. Like he wants to beat the shit out of Chris Jericho. There is
Yeah.
like you feel legitimate hatred when you hear Eddie Kingston talking about Chris Jericho.
And he started out with, "I hate this crap. I do not care about this sports entertainment crap." Chris, it was great.
Yeah, I thought this was an excellent segment. This was a 5-star segment that we got to witness live, and
Yeah, and if you haven't seen
yeah,
this segment on TV, they did post it on the AEW YouTube page. You got to see Eddie Kingston getting into Chris Jericho's face. Jericho starts leaning back in his chair, and he gets all the way vertical in his or horizontal in his chair. He's like, it's one of the funniest things I've seen in a minute.
yeah, and Jericho, talks about putting a hit on them, and it reminded me of the on-site thing, because
Yeah,
Kingston, he's like, "Do you know what that fucking means in my world? In our world, a hit means like you're putting someone in the ground."
and I don't know if Eddie confessed to murder there, but he said we've done it before.
He did say that. I was like, "Oh no." Um, yeah, man, I love this promo. I love this segment. It was excellent.
Yeah, it was fantastic. All right, did you catch any sort of a promo in between this and our Philly street fight?
Yes, sir. We had a video promo with Sami Guevara. Uh, Not much was going on in this one, but he called Scorpio Sky, and I quote, "the least interesting member of the AEW roster." And oh boy, was he wrong.
Oh yeah, the crowd was super into Scorpio for this. Well,
Yeah,
that's
I
for the
was
match
so.
later, but yeah.
We'll talk about the match later.
Yeah. All right, so the next up was the Philly street fight with Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida. Um, I absolutely loved Hikaru Shida's outfit in this, and I'm sure everyone else did as well. But she was wearing some Daisy Duke jean shorts and I don't know what to call it, but it was like a singlet swimsuit almost, like a single one-piece swimsuit with some Daisy Dukes over it.
Yeah, I think the idea was to kind of pay homage or like follow the street fight attire style, but with a spin on it. Because it was kind of, a lot of wrestlers, you see them go into these street fights and they're just wearing kind of like jeans, a white tank
Yeah,
top, and cowboy boots. And I felt like that was kind of paying homage to that, or kind of doing just a spin of that, where, it was white with, extremely short jeans,
yeah.
jean shorts. And I think she was wearing boots. I don't remember if she was wearing boots or not, but no, she wasn't. She was wearing her traditional web, like whatever sandal
It's
wrestling.
like the samurai toe ninja boot.
Yeah, yeah. I thought this was the action here was great. I thought this was a really good match. Um, crowd didn't seem too into it though.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was. I had one problem with this match, and that was the name of the match, Street Fight. This didn't feel like a street fight to me. There was a couple of spots that they used a kendo stick, and there was a couple of chair shots, but other than that, this was just a normal match. Didn't it feel that way to you?
Not necessarily. I mean, like, it was definitely a match that stayed in the ring for most of the match, and yeah, it was also a match that ended in submission.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that there was a good amount of weapon usage. The name of it being a street fight didn't really bother me so much. I didn't think it was bad. I thought it was good. I mean, it wasn't as good as I was expecting, considering how much they seemed to hate each other in the
Yeah.
leading up to this match. So I think the match falls a little short in that aspect. But I also kind of put some of it on the crowd. Um, I don't know really what happened here, but the crowd wasn't really into it. Even at the finish, which I was surprised by the finish. I didn't think Shida was going to lose this match.
No, me
Um,
neither.
But I liked the ending of the match, though. Kind of the ending leading up, just like how brutal, from where Shida gets blinded and she's just swinging with the kendo stick and finally just cracks Deeb. And, Shida definitely got her licks in with the kendo stick as well.
Yeah, I
Um,
did kind of forget about the salt in the eyes spot, but I just wish there was maybe, I don't know. I feel like I was missing. There was just something missing from the match that would have taken it to that next level, is what I felt like. And
I agree with you. I
I
agree
guess
with
I'm
you. I
kind of
don't know.
biased, but I think a table would have definitely elevated that match.
The fans seem to really want tables too, because they were chanting for the tables.
Oh yeah, they asked, we
Um,
want tables. It was a few times.
yeah, yeah. So I agree with you. Thought it was a really nice match. I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed seeing Shida. I'm a big Shida fan. But I mean, I agree with you. I think there was something that kind of held it back
Yeah.
from going to that next level. I don't know if it was necessary. Like, it didn't have to be a table. I understand the bias
No,
because
yeah,
the
it didn't
podcast.
have to be.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
like
agree with you though.
someone get thrown off the stage on one of the sides there, maybe, or
Brawling in
maybe
the
use the
stand.
announcers table once in a blue moon. Like we've only seen the announcers table once where Hobbs threw Punk on it, right?
Yeah, there was
You know,
definitely things they could have done, and I definitely agree with you that it was not an excellent match, but it was enjoyable. I liked it a lot.
yeah.
Um,
And the crowd
I
got
had
into
fun
it.
with
There
it.
was a couple holy Sheeta chants. There was a let's go Sheeta, let's go Deeb back and forth. So but they were a little quiet in the beginning. Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah, yeah. I thought this match the best part of this match was like the last 2 minutes of this match.
Yeah.
It was like it felt like the match that was booked around the ending. Like I feel like they were like, "Oh, this is a really great ending. Shit, we got to fill like 10 more minutes of TV time."
Yeah.
But again, I enjoyed it for what it was, and you
It was
know,
still a good match. It's just, when you're going to call it a Philly street fight, it was, for some reason, it felt lacking of something. There was just something missing.
yeah, I can understand that.
All right. So next up, I believe there was a promo with MJF and Sean Spears, right?
You are correct. So MJF, uh, he picked up the phone and he said, "Hey, big man, you want to make six figures for one match?" And he said that he is someone who's smarter, stronger, and taller than Wardlow, and you
You
can't
can't
teach that.
teach that.
And the whole crowd was like, "Holy shit, they're bringing in fucking Big Cass."
Yes. Who goes by W. Morrissey at the moment.
Yes, correct. He works for Impact right now.
Yes. And he looks incredible now. He cleaned himself up. He got clean and he has lost a bunch of weight and he looks scary. So I think he fits right into AEW. I hope this is a permanent type of thing.
Yeah, well, there's also a match for next week announced with an Impact wrestler that we'll talk
Yes.
about. So hopefully that means kind of we're starting to see another relationship ramp up between Impact and AEW because they kind
Yeah.
of cooled the jets off for a few months there.
Well, the rumor has it that both of these two Impact people's contracts may be up. So there's a chance that they're just picking them up off the free agent market at the moment.
We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We don't
Um,
know too much. I believe we don't exactly know yet. So I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, the only Impact contracts I know about are the Good Brothers.
Nice. What,
Yeah,
update me on that one real quick.
They're coming up. They're expiring somewhere during the summer.
Nice. Okay. Few months
Yeah.
left, I guess.
Yes.
All right. So MJF screamed at Lexiner and told her to get out of his camera frame. And Sean Spears, the way he grabbed the microphone from her as she was sulking away was great. So we're gonna get W Morrissey almost certainly. I mean, it's got to be guaranteed pretty much now. But all of a sudden,
definitely.
the lights go dark in the entire arena, and we waited for a good, I think it was like 10 to 15 seconds. And then a spotlight appears on the stage, and Fuego del Sol was murdered, lying there motionless. This was awesome. I did not expect this at all. I was expecting some sort of squash match with Fuego getting destroyed, but this was even better. I didn't even need to see him get destroyed. Just the idea of it happening in the darkness like that was awesome to me. I thought that was incredible, especially being there live. I don't know if it had more impact live or on TV, but I loved being there live for that.
I tried to tell you that this was going to happen. You know, I told you, and everyone's like, I don't understand why Black's working with Fuego. And I was like, look, man, they're doing an angle where Phoenix is coming back, and that's what this is. And this is what it was. And it was fucking awesome. The House of Black have Fuego. They're picking Fuego up, and you think they're about to unmask him, which you cannot unmask a luchador. That is forbidden. Ultimate heel move. And what we believe to be Alex Abrahantes is in the ring in his Resident Evil 4 looking getup. He's talking about, how they plan this and like how dare they touch Fuego and stuff like this. And, and again, it also explains why Alex Abrahantes was looking the way he was, because he's like, they planned this.
Yep.
House of Black goes to attack him thinking he's Abrahantes. They get in the ring, they turn around, and out comes Penta Oscuro and Pac, which I didn't think we were going to see Pac, so that's cool. It's been a while since we've seen Pac. And then also Abrahantes comes out, so then you're like, oh shit, who's in the ring? And it's Rey Fenix returning.
And by the way, we did post a quick video from inside the arena of that Rey Fenix return. If you want to see that real quick, just a nice short. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, it was an awesome segment. I really loved it.
Dude, and Phoenix hit this double foot stomp off the top rope onto Buddy Matthews. I thought he killed him. I've never seen it was Finn Balor perfection double foot stomp straight almost to his face. And he sold it well. He kind of did the old The Rock selling Stone Cold Stunner, freaking bounced up and down. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
So what did you think of this return? Did you think this was executed as well as I did? I thought it was executed perfectly. I loved the idea of that's why Alex had been dressing like that, and the whole segment. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, I thought it was excellent. I really loved it. It's cool that Phoenix is back now. We can see the continuation of this storyline. Again, this is something that Tony Khan does, and some might view it as a good thing, some might view it as a bad thing. But when something kind of derails a segment, Tony Khan kind of goes into a hold formation with that team. So, like, they won't scrap something. If TK likes something, he's going to want to use it. So, when Phoenix got hurt, they kind of had to come up with something for House of Black to do for a few weeks, and so they chose Fuego. So, I mean, yeah, I thought this was an excellent thing that really led up to Phoenix's return, and yeah, I guess we're gonna get a trios match with these guys relatively soon.
Oh, I love the Death Triangle, man. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be. I hope they make this like one of those epic matches that's like 30 minutes long, kind of like how they do with like Hangman and Danielson and Kenny and other guys like that. Like I want this to be an epic match, but be a trios match.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting to that point where we have to consider this might be a match on Double or Nothing.
It could be easily.
Yeah, I think we have to kind of, again, we're less than 4 weeks out. We have to kind of think about it as like, the card's going to start taking place over the next week or two.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so next up we had the 10-man tag team match. Was there a promo before this at all?
Let me check. There was a small little promo where they announced that on Rampage there would be the Owen Hart qualifier between Darby Allin and Swerve Strickland. We have a Tony Schiavone with Swerve and Darby. Swerve says that they aren't friends and that he will beat Darby. Darby said that AEW is his house. And this tournament is his tournament. He also had a really cool, funny line that I liked, where it was Darby said something along the lines of like, "You can't keep coming into different companies and just saying it's your house." Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice little jab at him in his Fed days.
Yeah, he does it everywhere he goes. No matter where he goes, the crowd says, "Whose house?" Swerve's house.
Well, so this is a funny little thing, right? So I was watching the NFL draft, and so the Rams, they have the same kind of thing where it's like, "Whose house?" And so the guy came out, and I'm watching it, and he's like, "Whose house?" And I was like, "Swerve's house." But it was the Rams. I crack myself up sometimes, and I got a chuckle out of that. I was like, "It's Swerve's house. It's not the Rams' house."
Yeah, yeah. All right, so this 10-man tag team match, we had the newly completed Undisputed Elite, which is Adam Cole, the Young Bucks, and Red Dragon. They all had new shirts that I actually got to see these shirts first. Adam Cole was wearing it in the meet and greet, and that was the first time I think anybody had seen the shirt, but I could be wrong. And this tag match was absolutely fantastic. They were against Dante Martin, the Varsity Blondes, Griff Garrison and Brian Pillman Jr., with Lee Johnson and Brock Anderson. Let me just start off with Brock Anderson looks like a 40-something-year-old baby, doesn't he?
I think it's more so he looks like a
look.
really young. I think it's more so that he looks like a really young Arn Anderson.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're just used to seeing old man Arn.
Yeah. But this match was excellent. I'm a huge Red Dragon fan right now. I know you're a huge Young Bucks fan. So getting to see, I mean, the Undisputed Elite, that's just 5 of the best wrestlers in the world right now.
Yeah, like 5 excellent wrestlers against 5 young up and coming great wrestlers. Thought that this was a very good match, very enjoyable. Standard fare for 10-man tags. I'm personally not the biggest fan of 10-man tags. I think that there's usually a little bit too much going on in the ring in 10-man tags. So that's just like a personal preference. I would much rather a trios or maybe an 8-man tag. But again, that's just kind of a personal preference thing that kind of holds me back from like really, really getting into this. I just think that there's a lot of moving parts in this, and it wasn't bad. I thought it was enjoyable. Just again, comes down to preference.
Yeah, one of the thing that blew my mind for this one is Julia Hart was ringside sitting on the stairs like she always does now, right? Staring off into nothing. But
Right.
could you imagine having to not watch this match going on behind you with the Young Bucks, Red Dragon, and Adam Cole? I'd be like, you expect me to not want to turn around?
I mean, I think it's different when you're a performer.
I know.
I mean, these guys, like she knew, like these are her coworkers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm kind of wondering why they're not like. I know they are progressing it with the blackness kind of going across her face a little bit more here, but they almost like don't even mention it in the actual match itself. Like you never see them look over to her like, "Come on, Julia, help us out" or anything, It's just
There
they
was
just
a little
ignore
bit
each
of
other
that.
now.
No, there was a little bit of that.
Was there? Okay.
Yeah, at one point, Arn goes over to her, and because Arn's out there with Brock, and Arn kind of like gets in front of her face and like hello, like kind of waves his hand in front of her face, and she just doesn't react to it, and so he kind of like skitters away, like I'm creeped out by this. I'm going over here.
Okay. That's
Yeah, so there
actually
was a
pretty
little
funny. I
bit.
missed that.
Yeah, and we're seeing the continuation. Spoiler, but well, yeah, it's not a spoiler for you, but Julia Hart has a match on Elevation this Monday, and it was a great kind of continuation in her evolution.
Yes. Yes.
Definitely worth checking out, in my opinion.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. All right, so the finisher for this was really, really, really cool. They did the BTE trigger with all four of. They had the Young Bucks and Red Dragon do the BTE trigger. That looked nasty. All four of them hitting the knee, and then Cole hit the boom while they all still held on to their arms. I really, really liked that finish.
Yeah, it was really cool, and it seems like the entire elite is on the same page for now.
Yeah, yeah, they definitely they all got along in the ring. They had combo moves that all pulled off well. This was definitely them showcasing that they are on the same page at the moment.
Yes, sir. After this match, the camera's cut backstage to the JAS, and they have beaten down Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz. Um, at which point, a fireball gets blown into Kingston's face.
Woo! The old fireball in the face trick.
Yeah, that was some old school shit right there.
Yeah, like who was that back? It was back in the day. It was Kane and um China.
Yeah, I think so. But even it goes back even further than that. I think the original Sheik did it.
Oh wow, yeah, I don't go that
Yeah,
far.
I've just heard it at some point. I don't
Yeah,
know the era like that, but man, maybe I'm wrong. But I know that someone in that era back in the day, long, long, long time ago, black and white wrestling era, did a fireball type thing.
nice. Now, just a quick thing. Since you didn't watch Rampage on TV, Jericho was talking about this segment on Rampage, and he's like, "I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard, Excalibur." So
That's
that was pretty
hilarious. 'Cause I
cool since
remember
we had
them
just
doing the
gone to that
promo.
Harry Potter exhibit, last Sunday.
Yeah, it was very, very, very timely.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so we then get to the main event, the TNT Championship ladder match, Scorpio Sky versus Sammy Guevara.
Yes. This match, I'm kind of torn on the match a little bit. Sammy Guevara needs to prepare if he's going to be doing these crazy spots. He needs to, let his opponent be aware a little bit more and plan it out a little bit better because he almost killed himself here. He's actually injured right now. He said he's feeling a lot better, but he definitely hurt his neck and his back doing a, I don't even know what you want to call it. It was supposed to be some sort of flipping body block, I think. I think he was just supposed to kind of land on Scorpio Sky with his back, but completely missed. Um, yeah, but the match itself was great. That spot was just, very worrying when we all saw him land like that.
Yeah, I mean, I would say minus Sammy's carelessness, this was an excellent match. I was
Yeah,
really into this match.
same.
I loved this match. This was a fantastic ladder match. This was easily better than Sammy and Cody back in January or
Oh
whatever
yeah.
it was.
And
Um,
I'm usually not one to enjoy interference in matches, like I don't like when everybody just starts getting in the ring and getting involved because it's a no disqualification type thing. But this worked really well with, both of the ladies coming out. We had Ty Conti jump in the ring. We had Paige Van Zant also jump in the ring. I thought it was a good usage of the ladies, and even Dan Lambert jumped in the ring and just got plastered in the nuts by Ty Conti. That was brutal looking. I think she actually kicked him in the nuts, man.
yeah, definitely. I agree with you. I think that this was the perfect amount of interference here. Um, I remember again because it's live. I was like, "No, Uncle Dan," because I love Dan Lambert now.
Yes.
It's just excellent. But this was a super awesome match. Really enjoyed it. The ladder wrapped in barbed wire was
Oh,
fuck.
so
That
good.
was insane. Like it was awesome. Like I absolutely loved it. And Sammy took that bump. It was a hell of a bump.
Yeah.
He gets like flipped off the ladder onto the vertical barbed wire ladder.
Oof.
That sentence doesn't even make sense,
I know
but
it's
it
hard to
happened.
like describe it. So imagine that the steps on the ladder are wrapped in barbed wire every 2 steps. So it was like a large ring wrapped around each two, you know. Ugh, it looked nasty. Um, did you catch the spot that they did from the Cody match with Sammy? Um, they had Sami jump off the top rope onto a top of a ladder and jump over towards Scorpio. And in the Cody match, he caught Cody with the cutter all the way down. This
Yeah.
time, Scorpio caught
him, yeah.
Sami with the cutter all the way to the ground. And I thought
Yes.
that was sick.
Yeah, it's a better cutter than Cody's. Yeah, I loved it. This is excellent. This was absolutely an awesome match. And you know what? The finish surprised me, which made it all the better.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird to think that the spot that I was just talking about, the cutter, that's actually Scorpio Sky's finisher, the TKO. But since it just looked so much like Cody's cutter, that's why I think we were surprised, because it was just them recreating a spot. But that's actually Sami's finisher. It was the TKO. So
right. But yeah, so I mean, we do get at the to the end of the match, and Scorpio Sky wins. He gets the title back. I loved this. I thought it was such a fuck yeah moment, because it was like Sammy's a heel now, and like it's not like, for me, like now that they're on the right track where they're the point is that they're trying to be heels. Now it works. Like, yes, it's still obnoxious, and yes, I still want to see them get their ass kicked, but like now the point of it is that, like, that's the point of it. So like Scorpio coming in here, like Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page have killed it the last like month. Like, they've just been on fire, just absolutely excellent. And this was a continuation of that, where it's just like, I really wanted Scorpio to win. I didn't think he was going to, and he did. And that's just awesome booking.
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely perfect.
Now, after the match, Frankie Kazarian came down to the ring to congratulate him, because remember, Sky asked him to give him his spot against Sami, which he did. I think that was under the guise that he would be the first in line, right?
I would assume so. I think that we do see that as the first challenger for Scorpio.
Okay.
Which also tells me that Ethan Page will be the one in the mixed tag match, which we will probably see at Double or Nothing.
Now, so you didn't get to see this on TV, so I don't think I noticed it live. Dan Lambert and Ethan Page were not happy that Frankie Kazarian came down and celebrated with Sky. They both were looking at them like, what the hell? They had these scowls on their faces like, what is this shit? So I'm not sure if you caught that live, but
I did. I did notice it live,
okay.
Yes. I don't think it means too much. I just think it means that they're kind of uneasy with each other. I mean, yeah, it could very well be that the intention is for them to break up Men of the Year and keep Ethan Page as a heel, which I understand. I don't know if I agree with it after the last like 2 promos from Page. I would honestly turn them both face, but I understand the confliction there with Dan Lambert, where yes, Dan, was a babyface by default because of Sami. I don't know how well it would continue to carry. So, I mean, there's a lot of options here, and I don't think any of them are necessarily bad options. Maybe we see SCU get back together. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. All right, so that was it for Dynamite. This was awesome live. I can't wait to go to another live event. I'm going to be searching for the next closest one. So we'll find out, right?
Yeah, definitely. The Newark show might be, when they go back to Newark, I don't know if I can make it, but we'll see.
Okay.
We'll play it by ear and see where we're at when we get there. I mean, obviously, starting the new job soon, so.
Yeah, no
But
worries.
definitely next time they come back to Philly, like that's a no-brainer right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah, absolutely.
All right, so go ahead and get us started on Rampage.
All right, so Rampage starts off with Darby Allin and Swerve Strickland in the Owen Hart qualifier match. And the crowd, we were there and we were ready for this match. Like, I feel like a lot of times with Rampage, you kind of get the effect where the crowd's a little dead and a little out of it. I think that we did a phenomenal job with this Rampage episode where we were into it up to the end. Like, this was an excellent Rampage, and the crowd really responded positively and consistently with it.
I absolutely loved this match. I'm a huge Darby fan, huge Swerve fan, and I posted it on Twitter and Swerve actually retweeted it. I love it. I said this match was art. Like these two put on an absolute just a work of art.
Yeah, I completely agree. This was such an awesome match, and like Darby Allin is so talented, and Swerve Strickland is. Oh, I remember like we're watching this right, and like I turned to Forrest. It was the first time of like the Rampage taping. I said it like two more times, where I was like, "The Fed let this guy go."
Crazy.
I don't watch the
And
product, but like you can't tell me that Swerve Strickland wouldn't be right up there, like day one in the Fed. Like, what is going on?
yeah, I mean, it's unexplainable. I can't. I just don't understand at all. It makes no sense to me that they would let him go like that. Like that.
You know, like there should be a saying. I know there's a saying like one man's trash is another man's treasure, but
Yeah.
I don't feel good calling Swerve trash. So we have
No,
to come
yeah,
up
I
with a
don't.
new one man's treasure is another man's trash. I guess I don't know. I don't. I don't get it.
It's
I don't get it.
it's one of the dumbest decisions I think I've ever seen in a business sense. Like I, something must have happened back in the scenes or something. I don't know because it makes zero sense.
I think the pathetic thing for me is that this isn't even anywhere close to their top 10 biggest mistakes or
Yeah,
dumbest mistakes. That's what's really sad
and
about it.
Swerve pulled a move in this match that I've never seen anyone do, and I watch AAA. I watch a lot of different wrestling, and for me to have never seen a move before is a wild, crazy thing. When he did his dive over the top rope, and I don't know how he did this, but he dove over the top rope to where he landed on his hands on the apron and did a front like like a front flipping handspring thing down to the ground. I mean,
Yeah,
that was insane. I have never seen that. I didn't even know that was possible.
yeah. I thought it was a crazy, crazy move. I remember. Forrest missed that move.
Oh,
Um, and I felt so bad for him. I was like, yeah, that was a nasty move. It was
I'll send it
awesome.
to him. I got it on tape.
Yeah, but it was awesome. It was an awesome match. The match ends with Starks coming out to interfere. Sting kind of backs him up the ramp. In the meantime, Allen caught Strickland with the leg lock and cradled Strickland for the pin.
Yeah. I love how Darby uses this. I don't know what did you say they call it?
Uh, I didn't call it anything, but I think they call it the crucifix pin or the
Okay,
coffin
yeah,
pin.
it's a special roll up where he like crosses their legs up almost like the figure four, and then he does a roll up.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love
It's
the
like it's called a casket pin. I don't remember exactly. There's a
okay.
name for it.
I love it. Either way, it's a really cool thing to have a guy's finisher, be a roll up, which Xavier Woods is copying now. By the way, he calls it the backwoods. Not the same not the same move, but it's a small package and blah, whatever.
I mean, is that not the most dominant finisher in the Fed because almost all their matches end that way?
It is the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment.
Definitely sports entertainment.
But
After
if
the
you
match,
guys watch any match from Rampage this week, please go and watch this match. Swerve is incredible. You already know Darby's incredible. Got to see this match.
yep. And after the match, I don't know if it's on TV or not, but they do shake hands afterwards.
Yes, they
Darby and
did shake
Swerve.
hands.
Yep. So that was cool. Next up, we had Sean Spears cut a promo, kind of peppering in some more clues about Wardlow's opponent. He says he's 7 feet tall.
Yep,
And he calls Wardlow the War Piggy.
War Piggy. And yeah, that solidified it right there that it is going to be W Morrissey because his thing was he's 7 feet tall and you can't teach that. So
Yeah.
two clues, 1+1 = 2. So
Remember when Carmella was just a hairdresser?
yeah, that's too funny. Wow.
I always whenever I think of Cass, I think of that first promo with Carmella, where it was like she was just some random chick who was just like a hairdresser who like just knew Enzo.
And her thing was awesome, man. He's like, and this is Carmella, and she's hot as hell. Like, I loved those dudes. That was Enzo and Cass were one of my favorite tag teams.
Yeah, cup of haters.
Couple haters.
So next up, Chris Jericho awards himself the Sports Entertainer of the Week for the
Yes.
fireball in Eddie Kingston's face. Santana attacked Jericho at the commentary table while Ortiz watched his back.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. He just kind of slapped the headset off of him and pushed him to the ground and punched him a couple times. And security comes out. Who was it? It was like Jerry.
Jerry Lynn and someone else.
Yeah, Jerry Lynn and a couple other guys came out and begged him to stop, and they just kind of walked off. And I thought this was going to be an excuse to pull Jericho off the commentary for the rest of the show, but no, he got right back on the commentary and just started talking shit again. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we had Jade Cargill and the Baddies versus Sky Blue, Willow Nightingale, and Trish Adora.
Oh, yes, I love this Baddies group.
Yeah, I thought it was a great group. This was a pretty quick match, nothing too crazy. I thought that it was a good demonstration of what this group can do.
Yes.
I like them being able to find something for Kiera Hogan to do. I don't
Exactly.
think she's technically contracted with AEW yet. I know she does work for them.
Yeah.
I don't think she's all elite though.
I believe she is since the first time we saw her in Dark. I believe she moved over from Impact, and I'm almost positive they said she was signed way back when we first saw her.
I don't know if I'm wrong, and I very well could be, but I do think she's currently working under what was the Yuda basis,
Okay.
leading up to the last few weeks, where up until about a month ago, Yuda was just working a bunch of dates but not signed.
Gotcha. I'll take a look into it, but I think she is, but I could be wrong as well.
Yeah, I could also be wrong, but I do think that's the situation with Kiera Hogan. I do like this change for Red Velvet. It's a little kind of out of left field and a little bizarre, in my opinion, but I get it. But yeah, I mean, I think this was a quick match meant to make the baddies look good, and it definitely succeeded. Shout out to the guy in Philly at the show who brought a sign for the daddy section.
The daddy section, yep.
That was great.
I really enjoyed the finisher in this one as well. So they had Jade hit her finisher, and as the other two girls from Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale tried to come in to make the save, they had Red Velvet hit a spear, and Kiera Hogan hit a missile drop kick to stop them from breaking up the pin, showing some really good chemistry with the girls there. I actually think we're in for a really good faction here with these three, and I think we're going to see some locker room shenanigans, you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. So after the match, we do get a little promo in the back, segment in the back with Tony Schiavone interviewing Darby Allin and Shane Strickland again. Allin offered Strickland 5 more minutes in the ring due to Stark's interference, but Strickland turned him down. Strickland will use Stark's interference as more motivation for his feud with Team Taz.
Nice.
Yeah, I think this is interesting that the Team Taz feud isn't over with. Can sit with Lee and Strickland, considering that Team Taz is about to challenge for the World Tag Titles, I guess.
Yeah, that's a little odd. They might just not have anything planned yet, so they just kind of got to keep going with that for the moment, but we'll see.
Yeah. It could also just be something that's more so tying into the Jungle Boy Luchasaurus Christian storyline than vice versa. So, but we'll see.
Yep.
And then up next we had Keith Lee versus Colton Gunn. What a fun match this was. I had so much fun with this match.
I was going to say the same thing. I was like, this was so fun live. Austin Gunn on the outside of this match makes it absolutely hilarious to be in the audience. I loved it.
Yeah, again, this was such a fun match. Like at this point, I felt like the crowd was getting a little tired.
Yep.
But like, man, yeah, this is awesome.
Austin is hilarious, dude. Like for a little while, I was wondering. I was like, man, Tony pays all three of these dudes, and you know, I know they're kind of like undefeated for a long time, and they won all these matches, but I was just wondering why. But that was definitely just an obvious reason of why this guy has a job. He was hilarious live. I want to see the Gun Club again. I want to see the Ass Boys live again.
Yeah, they're definitely underrated. That's for sure.
Yeah. And it transferred over to TV pretty well too. You could hear all the stuff he was screaming. You could hear that fairly well. The spot where he tried to interfere and Keith Lee absolutely wrecked him with an elbow in the corner, it looked even better on TV than it did live. Actually, it was from the perfect camera angle.
Yeah.
So this went like you would expect. Keith Lee pretty much destroyed Austin. There was the double hand slap to the chest spot. That was so loud in the arena that everybody in the upper nosebleeds heard it loud and clear. That had to hurt really bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently, this match did not do very well on TV due to the commercial break that
Makes
happened
sense.
for like the 3 minutes in the middle of it.
Yeah.
So apparently, this match wasn't that good on TV, but I can definitely tell you it was amazing live.
Oh, it was great. Yeah. We got one of the giant Beals, the Uncle Phil from Keith Lee there. He tossed Colton pretty high. It's pretty nice. How did they finish this one? I'm pretty sure we got a Big Bang Catastrophe, right?
You are correct, I believe.
Yeah,
it was
we
a
got
Big
the
Bang
Big Bang
Catastrophe.
Catastrophe.
Yep.
I think I was explaining to the wife how that's called the BBC, and she didn't understand anything, so I just left it at that.
Yeah, it's probably best left.
Yep.
Left as
So
is.
I'm not sure. Did we have a promo after this in between the big deal?
Yes, the Hardy Boys are interviewed here. Matt and Jeff wonder out loud about all the potential dream matches Jeff could have in the Owen Hart tournament once he beats Bobby Fish to qualify. So I was correct. It is Bobby Fish next week.
Okay, cool.
The Undisputed Elite retort. They say Jeff Hardy's days are numbered. So hopefully Jeff will make it to the match. I could see that going very poorly for him.
I could see this being a big time beatdown and possibly, Broken Matt and maybe Willow or something new coming from Jeff.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it was a little odd that, I don't know if you noticed, but Matt and Jeff were doing each other's mannerisms at the end of that promo. Matt was doing the thing Jeff does, and Jeff was doing the thing that Matt does. I don't know if you noticed.
Unfortunately, we did not see this on Rampage, and I did not watch it.
Okay, yeah.
I did not watch any AEW TV this week.
Like, I had to rewind it to see if they were trying to like portray each other's personas while they were talking, but no, they were themselves while they were talking. But at the end of that promo, they did each other's, mannerisms. It was weird.
Right. Yeah. So next up, we had Danhausen calling out Hook.
Oh, people lost their minds when Danhausen started walking out. No music, by the way, yet. I am really, really hoping that Mikey Ruckus is just in the lab figuring out what to do for Danhausen, because we have not heard any music for him yet.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll come up with something. Mikey Ruckus does a fantastic job, so
absolutely.
I'm not too concerned about it. So this was an awesome segment. So Danhausen comes out and he calls out Hook.
Send Hook.
Yes, he says send Hook, and Hook comes out, and Danhausen immediately regrets his decision.
Yes, he did.
And before Hook can lay his hands on him, Mark Sterling comes out and with Tony Nese, breaks them up, starts attacking both of them. Fighting ends up happening. Gets to the point where Danhausen is in the ring, and Nese and Sterling are about to get into the ring to beat up Danhausen. And Danhausen curses them. Hook jumps into the ring from behind Danhausen. Nese and Sterling are freaking out about Hook, so they decide to back off. And Danhausen thinks that he's cursed them, and they're afraid of being cursed further.
Yeah, but it's really Hook being all menacing.
Yeah, I love this duo, and this is so much better than I thought it was going to be, because I thought they were just going to have like a match, and I thought that like Hook was going to have to bury Danhausen, and it's not the case, and I'm so happy that that's not the case. The crowd, we coined the term Hookhausen.
Absolutely. I was going to say I'm very proud of that Philly crowd for that. That was great.
Yeah, we killed it, and like it seems like it's gonna stick because there was some promotional material that said Hookhausen on it.
Yeah,
Um,
TNT posted it like it was a movie, and they were like, "This is the movie of the summer," and it just said Hookhausen. It was great.
yeah, so I thought this was awesome, and the segment kind of ends with Danhausen offering him like a handshake, like, "Oh, we're friends now, right?" And Hook just kind of shoves him aside and leaves. So it's going to be this thing where like Danhausen's going to be trying to be Hook's friend, and Hook's going to play hard to get, and then eventually we'll get to like Hook will save
He's
Danhausen by
gonna save him.
choice,
Yeah, absolutely.
and people are going to fucking blow up. It's going to go wild.
I think Danhausen's first match might be with Tony Nese.
Possibly.
But yeah, I hope so. I hope they're saving his new music for that first match instead of just when he randomly comes out. But I'm a huge Danhausen fan. I'm wearing his shirt right now. So I thought this was great. I love Hook and I love Danhausen. Hookhausen. Just as soon as the crowd started chanting it, I just started giggling inside. I was like, that's so perfect, Hookhausen.
Yeah, it really was. So excellent segment in the middle of Rampage.
And it's time for the main event.
Right before that, we do get a little bit. So Lexiner interviews the Guns. The Acclaim show up and make an offer to team for an 8-man tag. Apparently, the Guns have to talk to Daddy first and find out if that's okay.
Oh yeah.
I didn't catch this whole segment, but I heard that the Acclaim tried to do the scissoring with Lexiner, and she's like, "Ew, no."
She just looked at his hand and she went, "No."
I was like, "Oh, Lexi, what are you doing?"
It was great.
You got it. Look, everybody loves the Acclaimed.
The way she, without missing a beat, she just looked down at his hand and just no.
Yeah. And then lastly, we had a little Mercedes Martinez cut a promo for her match on Wednesday, which we'll talk about when we get to the preview for next week.
Yes. All right, so now it's time for the main event.
There you go. And we had an awesome match here. Samoa Joe defending his ROH World Television Championship against Trent. And like this was a match that was booked specifically because they were in Philadelphia.
Yes, and just to specify, it is now Trent Beretta. He now has his full name, and they are using his full name, so he is now Trent Beretta again.
Fair enough, fair enough.
And we also had Ian Riccaboni from Ring of Honor commentary join the crew for this match. This was really good live, by the way.
Yep, and they also had the ROH ring announcer call ring them out, you know?
Yeah, it's great. I love how they do that for these matches that have Ring of Honor wrestlers in it.
Yeah, definitely. This was an awesome match. This was a great match to have for the Philly crowd. I mean, it's Ring of Honor. It's it's the company that was started here and with Samoa Joe, a guy that, busted his ass in Ring of Honor here in Philly, and Trent also, did his time in Philly.
Yep.
And yeah, I loved this match. This was an awesome match. It wasn't a better match than the Swerve Darby Allin match, but this was like a for the crowd match. This was a crowd pleaser.
It was really good. And something I wanted to throw out there, Tony Khan mentioned before Rampage how Trent is one of his favorite wrestlers in the world. So this was definitely a good showcasing for Trent. For when he said that, I was like, wow, okay. And I can see why now. This was a great match for Trent.
Yeah, I mean, I've been telling everyone forever, man. Trent and Chuck Taylor, man.
Big These Best Friends fan, I know that.
Excellent pro wrestlers. These guys are awesome. I love Trent Beretta.
Yeah.
Huge Trent guy.
All right. So let's see here. Samoa Joe retains the Ring of Honor World Television Championship via he went for the Muscle Buster, but Trent wiggled out of it and wiggled himself right into the Coquina Clutch. Now, I'm not sure that's what he still calls it, but the rear naked choke. And this goes back to earlier in the night where Samoa Joe said, you're not leaving the building without going to sleep first. So Trent went to sleep.
Yeah, definitely. I really liked how after the match, Code of Honor was observed with the handshake.
It was as well at the
Which-
beginning of the match too.
Yes. This was an excellent match. After the match, Tony Schiavone tried to interview Samoa Joe in the ring, but Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh interrupted. Orange Cassidy confronted Singh with his usual explosive offense, let's say.
Yeah, it was great.
You know,
I love how the
Sanjay
crowd
Dutt threw
pops for
in-
the shin kicks, man. I just love it. It's one of my favorite
it's so much
things.
fun. It's so much fun, yeah.
And it's so good because it just annoys the E fans so bad too. And I'm just like, yeah, that's why I love it.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. But so, the best friends brawled with Singh and Dutt. Lethal got the jump on Joe in the ring. The refs, including new hire Pat Buck, came out to break up the show, the fight as the show ended. Post show, there was a really awesome little segment with best friends and Tony Schiavone. They brought a fan into the ring and hugged it out with the young fan who was cosplaying as Cactus Jack.
She was maybe
shout
4
out
years
to-
old, maybe 5.
Yeah, she was very young.
He was
But shout out to
tiny.
Orange Cassidy, who, God bless him, picks up the mic. He says, like this. This is a quote, like, "Hey Philly, uh, go Birds." And
Yeah,
I'm like, "Fuck yeah, go Birds!" Like, oh man, love it.
he got so many fans from that. Everybody on Twitter's like, I'm now a fan of Orange Cassidy. He said, "Go Birds."
I always back the winning horse. So I'm sitting here like, welcome to the club. I've been here since day one.
Day one.
I'm a day one.
Not me. I'm 10 years deep right now. I'm from Las Vegas, but we didn't have professional teams, so
That's fair. You had to you relocated, so it's fine.
exactly.
Better late than never, they say.
Yep, better late than never. All right, so that does it for Rampage. Man, I just can't tell you how awesome AEW is live. That was our third event, and it feels like they get better every single time, but it's such a fun experience to go. They make sure that the crowd has so much fun, and there's no such thing as being disappointed with your main event. You know what I mean?
Definitely. My one knock against it is more so against the Liacouras Center. I don't think it's a very good venue. I would like to see Tony Khan figure something else out. There's not a lot of choices, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I know they can't run the Wells Fargo Center, which is honestly, that's obviously the choice that you would go with.
I mean, if we do
maybe it's time to
pay-per-views, they got to
do-
run Wells Fargo, but I see what you're saying.
Well, the problem is that they're not allowed to run Wells Fargo.
They're not.
The Fed has a contract with Wells Fargo Center that forbids them from running other wrestling shows.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, it's extremely scummy, but they're not competition.
Nah, yeah.
The AEW is not competition to the Fed. I mean, the Fed just, for shits and giggles, they're like, you know what, you can't run any pro wrestling shows out of your building.
Yeah, that's wild.
Which I wish there was someone I could talk to, like at Wells Fargo Center, and be like, hey, how about you fucking not book the Fed then? Like,
yeah, how often do they come here to where you're gonna, let them corner the market? That's weird.
it's super shitty, and like honestly it's a monopoly. Like
Yeah, it's an
you're
attempted one
literally
anyway.
strong arming, you're soliciting to like not let other companies come into your venue. Like it's really shitty.
Yeah, it is, definitely. Especially when you're trying to pretend like they're not competition,
Yeah, it drives me wild. So I don't know, like maybe there is no alternative, in which case I'll definitely take the Liacouras Center over nothing. But yeah, it just kind of sucks because it's not a very good venue. I mean, luckily our seats were great, so like the acoustics weren't that bad where we were, but where we've been there in the past have not been very good seats, and not because we couldn't see anything, just because we couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, so Joseph in chat, what's up, man? This is actually a IRL friend of mine. How you doing, man? So we've been to the Liacouras Center twice, and this time it's the reason that I bought the better tickets. When you're sitting in the second level, so if you're in any of the 101s, 102, 103, as far as I can tell, those had very good audio. The views were great, but when we set up in the 200s, we could barely hear the promos. The music was kind of like bouncing off the walls, almost echoing itself for me. So that's kind of why we don't like the Leah chorus too much. But if I can get the same tickets as we had last time, I'm perfectly fine with it. But
Yeah,
I would
it's
enjoy a
not
slightly larger arena that we could fill and it have a really nice acoustics in it.
Yeah, it's definitely not a knock against the seats. Like it was
Yeah.
they were great seats. It's just the acoustics, the audio in there just is awful. It's really
Yeah,
bad.
it's
And we
built
went to
for.
the Dynamite in Newark, and we were like pretty high up in that show, and I didn't have a problem there. Like the audio was fine there. So I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's built for
I just
basketball, I believe. I think it's a college basketball for Temple, if I'm
Oh
not
yeah.
not mistaken.
Yeah, the Leah Center is primarily a Temple Owls basketball court, but they also run some concerts out of it, which is why it's kind of baffling to me that
Yeah.
the acoustics would be so bad.
So you were in 208, Joe, and you could hear everything? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, we were in 203 the last time, and we couldn't hear Punk's promo almost at all. Oh, okay, you were right in front
Yeah,
of the Titantron, so you probably had a good speaker pointed like right at you guys. Yeah.
that could be why then. Yeah,
Yeah. But like I said, it's
but
spotty. That's the reason we're not huge fans. But I had a blast this time. This time was no issues whatsoever. Just, we paid more.
yeah, definitely. But they were great seats, and again, just I'm nitpicking. It was an excellent
Yeah.
show with a good at best venue.
All right. So I want to touch on our next subject real quick here. Some
Do you do a preview Dynamite first, or do you want to finish with the
let's
preview?
finish with the preview of Dynamite.
Gotcha. Go for it.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. So when Samoa Joe gave that nod to the crowd, I think they were chanting TNA. That was my boy Joe here and his crew. They were starting all those chants from over there during that Samoa Joe match.
Yeah, I remember Section 208 being a little rowdy at the
Yeah, they
end
were
there.
rowdy. Yep. All right, so we had some people released from prison this week. A couple of notable names released from NXT are the most shocking one to me is Dexter Loomis. That guy's character was amazing. He was in mid storyline with just getting married on the show. He's got a wife on the show. Half of her character was all about her and her husband, so I'm baffled at what they're gonna do with that one there. And then Harland, formerly known as Parker Boudreaux, this dude was basically penned to be Brock Lesnar's replacement, man, and they released him basically saying not enough improvement fast enough. And that seems to be the new kiss of death when it comes to the WWE. If anybody labels you as not improving quickly enough, you're going to be gone soon.
Yeah, I mean, don't forget about Dakota Kai either. I think that for me, that's the big one that got
Yeah,
really.
that's my next one for I cannot wait till these 30 days are up. Not sure if you know, but she has actually been a female tag champion with Ruby Soho in the past. Not in the WWE. The name of the organization's escaping me at the moment, but they had a really good looking tag team together. So I'm excited. I'm almost positive she's gonna wind up in AEW. She will make that women's division look really good.
Yeah, definitely.
Another one that was released here is Malcolm Bivens, one of the best managers I have seen in WWE in a long time. This guy is Teddy Long, but better, like 10 times better. I can't even understand. Well, I guess he's one of the guys who had a year left on his contract, and he informed them that he was not re-signing. So I guess I can't say I don't understand why they let him go, but they were kind of like, okay, you're not going to resign. You can go now. So they let him go now. And that's the same with Dakota Kai. She had about a year left on her contract, and she informed them she was not going to resign. So they let her go now as well.
See, I had heard more so that the reason that Dakota Kai was released was more so that they didn't see a future for her on the main roster.
Yeah. I mean,
They didn't think she was main roster material, which, I mean, do you really want to be main roster material? Like, is that a compliment? It doesn't feel like a compliment to me. If I was like, hey man, if I was like, Jeff, you belong on Monday Night Raw. Like, I would expect you to not want to be friends with me anymore. Like,
well,
how dare I say that?
I mean, it's the best of the three shows, so I would be like, thanks. That's the better of the three. Like, if you told me I belonged on SmackDown, then I'd be like, ugh.
For me, it's all the same. A shiny turd is a shiny turd. It's still a turd.
So there's an NJPW crossover show on May 15th. I think that's a little too soon for me to be able to be going back, but if it's possible, I might try to hit that up.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple other people were released from NXT. I'll just run through them real quick. There was Raylyn Divine, Persia Parada, who was also mid storyline, Mila Milani, Draco Anthony, Sanhana George or Sanjana George. Sorry, not sure how to pronounce that one. And Paige Prince of Ali. So that's 10 people from NXT released. We shall see where they all wind up, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's always important to remember. I mean, I don't watch the product, so 7 of the 10 names I don't recognize.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not the end. If anything, it's probably for the best. I mean, yes, the money is great there, but I mean, like pro wrestling is in a boom right now where you can go to. There's literally half a dozen places you could go to and make good money.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and it's an excellent thing. And that is another positive of the Fed. Like there's a lot of places for these guys to work and these girls to work, and it's awesome. You
I
don't
mean,
need to go to the Fed. You can have a whole career and be successful, and
yep.
just never be in the Fed.
Look what Matt Cardona's doing with Chelsea Green. They both left the E and they're having the freaking time of their lives.
Yeah, even though he was one of the reasons Cody went back to the Fed, but I mean,
I think
he said that today. He's like, "Oh, I was talking to Matt Cardona, and he was like, yeah, dude, you should do it." I'm like, ugh.
now I like Matt even more.
Yeah, I guess yeah, dude, you should totally betray the fan base and also go against everything you've said for the last 7 years. Yeah, I guess you could do that.
That's funny.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
All right, so I think that'll be my blunder of the week. Would be the Dexter Loomis release. Saying that you don't see any progression in that guy might be the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That guy is main roster ready. He has been. So yeah, that's my blunder of the week for them.
Oh, so you don't think he's very good? You said he's main roster potential.
I mean, they got us all confused now, but yeah.
Sure.
All right, let's get to that next week's Dynamite review.
All right. So I'm looking at this for the first time because, again, I was kind of being there live. You're just kind of in the moment. So I did miss some of these. We have the Blackpool Combat Club versus the AFO and Angelico, Butcher, and Blade.
Okay.
We have Santana versus Chris Jericho, which that's going to be good. That's going to be really good. We have Jeff Hardy versus Bobby Fish in an Owen Hart qualifier.
That's going to be good too.
And then we have the unification of the Ring of Honor Women's Championships, Mercedes Martinez versus Deonna Purrazzo, making her first appearance in AEW.
I love Deonna Purrazzo. And
yeah, she's awesome.
Britt Baker is actually in love with Deonna Purrazzo as well. And she made it clear about that. So I'm wondering if Deonna is kind of sort of here to stay. If it's possible that she's here to stay, she has to win this match. I think she should definitely be the champion of Ring of Honor if it's a possibility.
I agree. I also would like to just kind of reiterate my opinion on these interim champions. Just make it a number one contender, Tony Khan. You don't need to give 2 belts out. It's not necessary. It's like, if there's anything that Tony Khan does that I can't stand, it's this. Like, it has nothing to do with the match. It's just like, like why go through the trouble of making 2 belts? Like the interim champion thing is just stupid. It's just not a good idea. Just have it be a number 1 contender. Like that's what the interim champion is. That's what the number 1 contender is.
Yeah.
Just I don't like it. I hate it. It's something that really just I can't stand it.
Now, where I see exactly where you're coming from, because I totally see where you're coming from. I'm on the other side of the fence on this one, because I've been a fan of the UFC since UFC 1. I've literally watched every single UFC since UFC 1. And the way that it works when the world title is supposed to be on the line, so they put the date like on January 6th, the UFC World Championship versus this person versus that person. Now, it doesn't matter if both people have to pull out of the match sometimes. The interim title will be what's on the line during that match. And it's always been a thing in MMA, and it kind of, I feel like it's bled over a little bit with Tony Khan, because it seems like he might be an MMA fan as well. I've seen him at UFC events. So I think in his mind, he's thinking the same way along, the lines of an MMA fan like me, where I didn't even question it when they did an interim title, because I think it was because somebody was injured or Sami was not there. I don't remember why they did it initially, but I didn't even question it. It made sense to me because the title was supposed to be on the line that night. So you know what? The title was on the line that night, but it's the interim one. And the same thing has always happened in boxing and MMA. So I never questioned it, but I totally see how people can have problems with it if you're not like a hardcore fighting fan. You know what I mean?
But I would say even again, I'm not a fighting fan really like that.
Yeah.
So I understand this is an outsider take. But then I think that's stupid in fighting too. Just have them vacate the title. If the champ can't go, then
Yeah.
vacate the title.
Well,
You're
the
the
reason
champion. You
being
gotta
is
defend your title.
most of the time with a title fight, somebody is already the number 1 contender, and somebody has already gone through the work to become that number 1 contender. So it's kind of like, if that match wasn't for a title, it's almost like a punishment for them, you know what I mean? Or they had the rights to fight for that title, but all of a sudden now it's another number 1 contender, and if they lose that, now they don't even have rights to a title again. You know what I mean? So I think that is actually the way that it works, is when you become the number 1 contender, you're contractually obligated, or you're contractually I think guaranteed a title shot. So when it comes to that day, they kind of have to have the title there, you know?
I get it. I do.
Yeah.
But I still feel the way I feel.
Oh, I totally understand. Don't worry.
Yeah, just vacate the title.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, you weren't there. You can't defend it. That's fine.
So
You'll get
that's
a shot when
actually
you're
how I truly believe wrestling should do it. I'm 100% right there. If you're the champion and you cannot defend on the date of said match, you vacated it, and we're going to put someone else in there. I'm totally with that.
Yeah, well, this was something back when WWE was good, was that they had the 30-day rule.
Mm-hmm.
Champion had to defend his title once
Yep.
every 30 days. And sometimes they took some liberties on it, but generally speaking, if someone got hurt, or if you couldn't defend your title that month, you gave it up.
Yeah, I
That
like
was
it.
it.
I'm in.
I don't know. It's just that's the way they should do it. I mean, Tony Khan's not going to stop doing this because he's done it 3 times at this point. But it's a very minor thing. But it's like the one thing that I just can't stand that Tony Khan does.
I totally get it. I understand why you don't like it, especially because it kept the 2 belts around for a while, and I think that may be what rubbed you the wrong way. I think if they hadn't have carried 2 belts for as long as they did, I don't think it would have been that impactful to you.
Probably not. But
Because that second belt was dumb for Sami to be wearing both of them. I hated it.
Well, that was the point, because he was a heel.
Yep. Well, he wasn't yet. Damn it.
Fine. All right. Well, and then so that's Dynamite, and then we have 2 little things for Rampage. We have the tag team match set up: Ruby Soho and Toni Storm versus Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. And we are also guaranteed to see Hook in action.
Did they say in action?
Yep, it is being listed right here as Hook in action.
Perfect. So that might be, maybe we'll see Hook Tony Nese, or maybe Smart Mark will give him an opponent.
Yeah, I don't think you blow your load there yet. I think you do build up. Maybe we get a tag match at Double or Nothing, Hook and Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and Sterling. because people forget Mark Sterling is also a wrestler.
Showing off my autographed Mox figure on the pod here if you're watching on YouTube.
Nice. But so yeah, that's what we have for next week. I think it's gonna be a good week. It's gonna be hard to top this week. This week was awesome, man. I mean, went to a
So
Phillies
good.
game and the Phillies did great except for last night. We don't talk about last night. AEW was awesome. The Eagles fucking killed it in the draft. This was a great the Sixers finished up their series except for Embiid getting hurt. Like this was a mostly excellent week here
I
in
know, man. The
Philadelphia.
Phillies are looking good. The freaking Eagles had a great draft, and 76ers bad news with Joel Embiid, but they just won their series. Come on, Flyers,
now
get your
there's
shit together.
well, now that apparently there's some optimism that Embiid will be back for this not for game 1, but he'll be back because apparently he doesn't need surgery on the orbital the injury.
Good. Put
But
a
he does
mask
have
on
a
his
concussion.
ass.
That's what I'm saying.
He's
If we
freaking
can put
8
a
foot
mask,
tall. It's not like many people are gonna be up that high, but
yeah, if Brandon Cutler can be out there with a broken nose wearing that mask, you
Oh, yeah.
know. Although that's a kayfabe inch. That's a work.
But yeah, I was getting at the freaking Flyers need to get their shit together, man. This is like the worst I've ever seen them.
Yeah, they're pretty bad.
Gritty's
They've been bad for
hiding
a few
back here. He
years,
doesn't
and-
even want to show his face.
Yeah, they've been bad for a few years, and it hurts. It hurts to see him like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great week, and on to another great week, hopefully, most likely.
Yep. And on my final note, I just want to say if anybody is listening to this that has not been to an AEW event yet, I highly recommend you go. It is one of the funnest 5 hours of your day you'll ever have. You'll be out of there about 11:15, 11:30ish your time. It's one of the best experiences I've had. I've been there 3 times. So if you haven't been, I definitely recommend going.
Yep, worth traveling for too.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
All right, man. You got anything you want to finish off with?
Well, a little off topic, but I mean, go Birds. What a fucking draft.
Yeah.
Like, I don't run an Eagle podcast, so I'm just going to get my opinion out there while we can. Like, Howie Roseman, this motherfucker, right? Like, I've been on the Howie Roseman warpath here in the city of Philadelphia. And here we are at the end of the 2022 NFL draft. And I love it. I really liked Kyle Hamilton. I wanted them to get Kyle Hamilton. But the more I sit on this Jordan Davis pick, I love the pick. And then they go and get A.J. Brown, like probably one of the best players Howie's ever acquired in a trade, probably ever.
Yeah.
So, like, that's awesome. And then I love the second round. Nakobe Dean fall into the third round, and like people there. So there was like this. I don't know how much you follow like the draft and like what's going on in it, but so Nakobe Dean is a linebacker from Georgia, and he was projected to be a first round talent, but there was like this rumor going around that he tore his pec and that he was going to need surgery, but he was opting out of getting the surgery.
Yeah.
And so like his draft capital just like dropped. Like
Oh,
again,
wow.
first round all the way to the third round. The Eagles took him at 83. And so like he's sitting here saying that like he went to multiple doctors who said it's not a strain, it's just a strain, and that it's already pretty much healed. And the Eagles doctors are saying the same thing, and that he's already going to be on the field for camp the next week.
Nice.
Like, so it's like could be the fucking steal of the century.
Absolutely.
Because some teams wanted to believe a rumor. Like, I don't know. It was awesome. So this has been awesome. Awesome week. The draft was fucking epic, and AEW was also fucking epic.
Hell yeah.
So that was my thought.
All right, man. Close us out.
All right. Well, this has been episode 29 of the Broken Tables podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a like and subscribe or follow depending on where you find us. Thank you for listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. You can follow us on Twitter at Broken Tables Show or on Facebook and Instagram at The Broken Tables Podcast. We go live on YouTube following every single AEW Dynamite, Rampage, and pay-per-views. We hope to see you again, but until then, see you later.
Right on, everybody. Have a good night. Peace.